Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for March 2025. You have this card that says, believe in the impossible. You also have this card that says, nothing will come of this situation. Definitely a time. We have, again, the rest of the year to really get started on something that we think is impossible for us to accomplish. We have Neptune in Pisces. I always say Neptune in Pisces is the big impossible dream. But we also have Saturn in Pisces, which says, hey, if you take the first step, if you accept responsibility for something bigger than yourself, then you can accomplish it. And I want to stress that with Neptune and Pisces, all you have to do is take the smallest first step. And I would do it now. Now, again, Neptune is very big. So even if you don't start until next year at the beginning of Neptune and Aries, even though Neptune will move into Aries this year, then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces. But even if you don't start until next year, you'll probably still be fine. But again, I would plant those seeds this year, which is really what I stress for people and just in general, because that's how you work with the energy. It'll just make your life a lot easier, right? You start with the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Sun card. I would be careful of worrying too much at this time. You have that card that says nothing will come of the situation. It's almost like some of you are in a little bit of a holding pattern, just putting everything together here in this reading. It's almost like I feel that some of you are in this little bit of a holding pattern where it's like you're waiting for a decision, or you're waiting for something, and this could be like a worry that you have, like you're waiting for the outcome of a situation. And I feel this is saying, I feel like that nothing will come of the situation card is saying you're making a bigger deal out of something than it needs to be. So, I would be careful if you're worried about something like a challenge that's happening to you or whatever. It's just popping into my head. The Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's looking at the Seven Pentacles and he's saying, has everything that I've been working on up until this point, is it worth it or not? And I don't know. I can't answer that question for you, right? He is analyzing the work he's done. Only you can answer that question. But usually I feel that he is going to move on to something else. Like he's learned everything he can from the growth that he has received from whatever he's grown here in his life. And now it's time for him to grow something new. On top of that, you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is about planting seeds in this new field behind you. So again, I think ultimately a lot of you could be deciding to move on from something that you have grown and you're just going to grow something else. And this is a good thing. You have the Knight of Swords, a lot of jumping to conclusion energy this month, and that's what I would be careful of. And I think that's kind of like a collective warning for basically everyone, is no jumping to conclusions, no just assuming that something is true either, right? It's like the Knight of Swords is the classic sky is falling energy, where it's like a person rushes into your life, they scream that some big issue is going to happen or something bad is going to happen, and then it doesn't, right? And that is the Knight of Swords. He is being too hasty. He's making a hasty decision, which is never a good decision. And so I would just be careful of those types of things in your life. Like if someone comes to you and they're freaking out about some issue in your life or their life, probably isn't as big of an issue as they're making it out to be. And so in those moments, I would just slow things down. And if you do that, you will be fine. Next, you have the Sun, which is amazing. The Sun makes the whole entire reading more positive, so that's great. The Sun wants you to pay attention to your attention. I always say, yeah, sure, the Sun is the best card in the deck, can represent happiness, joy, abundance, just good feelings. But we go up here to the Ace of Swords, to the Knight of Pentacles. The Sun, like I said, is a spotlight. Usually it is our attention, meaning that if you really think about it, there are probably a few things during your day that really capture your attention that you can't help but to pay attention to. And that is like the Sun. The Sun is trying to guide you in a direction in your life, and it's probably the things you think about. Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. It says that if you have an idea, a dream, wish, goal, dream, if you have an impossible dream with the believe in the impossible card, that's what I would focus on, and that is what I would take those first few steps towards with this energy, because that will make you the most successful at this time here, Scorpio. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, a card of expansion and growth, and we are definitely in a time of expansion. So again, with the Seven of Pentacles, like he has already grown he's gotten everything he can out of those Seven Pentacles. And the Three of Wands would be about kind of like looking for new pastures. You know, he needs to get on these boats and go on an adventure. So I feel it's definitely time for you to do something expansive, or, you know, the reading could just say you're about to do something expansive. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands, all these knights, very quick movement. The Knight of Wands is a card of desire. He just does things that he desires to do. There isn't necessarily a good reason for him taking action on the things that he takes action on. He's just like excited about a new direction, and he moves in that new direction. So, you know, I feel following your excitement, following your bliss would be a good thing for you. With the Sun, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yep, time to get to work on the Sun. It's like something you're thinking about doing. So a lot of you probably already have thoughts about what you need to do, or you probably already have ideas of what you should do at this time. And I would just start putting in the work. I mean, I kind of do feel that you have been putting in the work. I'm pretty sure it's you that I've been saying for like months that, you know, it seems to me like you are more busy, or if you're not, you're about to be more busy. And Eight of Pentacles is just straightforward, diligent work. It is a good card. He's very focused on what he is doing, which is important with the Ace of Swords. And, you know, he's only working on one thing, which is definitely something that I would stress this year, and I did in the 2025 readings. I said pretty much to everyone in the 2025 yearly readings that really I think it's a good year for like picking one thing and making it happen. Don't like try to work on 900 things at once. You're really going to struggle. But if you pick that one thing and you make it happen, you'll be much more successful. Now, there's one rule that would allow you to break that rule, and it is my 90-day rule. So if, you know, technically you could work on like 4 things this year, every 90 days, every quarter, like pick one thing to work on it for 90 days, see what happens, and then keep going. But I would still pick one thing. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say you're afraid to invest your energy or effort into one thing because you're not sure if it's going to work. Give it 90 days. If it works at the end of 90 days, great, keep going. If it doesn't, then switch to something else and give that 90 days, because you're basically getting 4 chances. Although, you know, yeah, I know we're almost through the first quarter, but so maybe you have 3 more chances to get something like a project, a business idea, or whatever to work. But, you know, like I said, during that 90 days, one thing, not like 900 things, and that will lead to the success. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Blessed Ideas card. It says, allow your ideas to come to fruition, and they will bring many blessings. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this one up either. It says, Dreamcatcher. Pay attention to signs, messages, and guidance that come to you at night. The sun. Even though the sun isn't up at night, again, these thoughts or the sun trying to get your attention could be the dreams that you have or the ideas that you have at night. Could also be those ideas you have like first thing in the morning. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but it's like, you know, my most intuitive messages come like right as I'm falling asleep and like right as I'm waking up in the morning. That's where I get like the ideas that are actually something, not just like a dream. And so I would be paying attention to those things and have a dream journal, or, you know, have a journal next to your bed so you can write those things down. But definitely could be a lot of good ideas. You have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, really can't go wrong following your heart right now. I don't think it's always true that we should follow our heart, because, like, obviously if your heart tells you that you need to, like, move to Jupiter and start a new cult, it's like, you know, I'm sure someone's heart has told them to do that, but obviously that's not very realistic, right? And so I don't think it's always true that we should follow our heart, but what I would say is at this time, it is definitely true. So your heart could be guiding you towards some like really big breakthroughs in life, or, you know, successes, and that's what I would listen to. Funny enough, I read this card as you. I know everybody reads her as Cancer, but I've always read Queen of Cups as Scorpio, so, you know, I read her as both, basically. She could be any water sign, really, but I kind of feel this is your energy showing up here. You have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a victory or big success. It is also laser-like focus, which is going to be the key word for you this reading. You know, the Ace of Swords is about focusing on one thing and making it happen. And it's also about cutting out the crap as well, right? We have this palm frond here, this olive branch here. The palm fronds in the tarot can represent survivor energy, like being a survivor, but they can also represent sacrifice. So the Ace of Swords cuts both ways. Usually we have to like cut one thing out or multiple things out of our life, like distractions or things that are slowing us down, so that we can focus on the success. And, you know, again, I think that would be a good thing for you here, Scorpio. You have the Ten of Wands. I'm pretty sure you're always getting the Ten of Wands with me. I'm pretty sure in your last reading, I said something about you being very busy because of the Ten of Wands. And I also said, like, yeah, I would definitely make sure that these burdens are your own. I do feel that this is kind of like a common theme for Scorpio, where Scorpio really needs to ask themselves, like, do I need to do this? Or am I taking on the burden of someone else? Or am I taking on an issue that belongs to someone else? And that's really all I would ask myself. Like, anytime, before you say yes to something, to anything, I would just say, is this really me? Like, is this my issue, or does this belong to that person, right? And I would make sure you're doing that, because again, I think that you are going to be very busy, and so just like you're not going to have enough time to deal with everybody else's issues, right? With the Queen of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. This is more like lighthearted energy coming into the reading with that Knight of Wands as well. I do feel fixed signs in general trying their best to be lighthearted at this time. I grew up in a house of fixed signs, right? And everybody in my family, like, I'm a mutable sign. I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces, right? And it's like, so like everybody in my life, even outside of my immediate family, right, always looked at me as kind of like careless, I think, like as I was growing up, right? Because it's like I just didn't take things very seriously, and it's kind of like a good spiritual lesson for me, not to talk about myself too much here, but it's like, everybody would be like worried about like every little thing that was going on, and then they would be mad at me for not taking things seriously, even though I knew that everything was okay, right? So I know how fixed signs operate, right? But chances are, this is kind of saying that some things that you could be making very serious, it's not that they're not serious, it's just that they might not be as serious as you're making them out to be, and you could be worrying too much. So, and that's not really what comes up in the reading. What comes up in the reading is that you should be taking a more playful approach to life and not taking it too seriously. With the Ace of Swords, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is knowledge and wisdom. We've been in a time of knowledge and wisdom for a long time. Really, it started in 2016 when Saturn was in Capricorn. Saturn in Capricorn is like profitable education. If you teach yourself things, they could be profitable. And even though Saturn is not in Capricorn anymore, obviously, we still can work with that energy. Saturn will come back to Capricorn in 20-something years, and even though it'll be 20 years or whatever, or however many years it's going to be before Saturn comes back to Capricorn, it's like, by that time, when Saturn gets back to Capricorn, it's going to say, did you learn things and put those things into practice? Did you turn knowledge into wisdom? And if you did, then you will get the rewards. If you didn't, you won't. So I would definitely be learning and putting those things you learn into practice. Yeah, with the Ten of Wands, here's the thing. Ace of Pentacles, 2 aces, 1 thing, right? 10 of Wands is 1,000 things. Ace of Pentacles is 1 big pentacle that you nurture into existence. I think this will make your life a lot easier. See, as humans, I always say that we have complexity bias. I think we look for the complex answer because we think that is going to be the answer to our problems. But really, usually, that's not the case. Usually, it's the simple answer. Or, if we're trying to make money, I've known a lot of people in my life where they don't have money and then they try to do like all these things to make money and they never get anywhere, right? But the people that focus on one thing, they usually get somewhere. So I feel like focusing on like one big thing would be a good idea for you and putting all your energy into that. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this blessings card and this adventures card. I feel that everyone could be getting blessings from going on adventures at this time. I mean, every single reading I do has like the 7 of Cups, which you have at the end here, or the 2 of Wands or the 3 of Wands. These are, and you have the 3 of Wands here. These are cards of adventuring into the unknown. I've been saying for years that everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. So I know that's a very general statement, but I think we all should be like, learning new things, learning from people we would have never learned from. We should be going on literal adventures. Even if you can't go on adventures, you can go on an adventure from the comfort of your own home by learning something new. That's where the blessings are going to come from. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Swords. Knight of Pentacles is like no movement. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. But I actually feel you are making moves. He can represent progress. He does need to plant seeds in this field so that they'll grow. But with the 7 of Pentacles, I feel that you are kind of like growing new things in your life at this time, Scorpio, or you're about to see new growth. You have the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles can represent holding on too tightly to a comfort zone. And again, we have this Ten of Wands to the Four of Pentacles. So, this could say that some of your responsibilities have become a comfort zone, right? It's like if you're doing 100 different things for a bunch of different people in your life, that can be a comfort zone because it can make you feel useful. And there's nothing really, wrong with that. But at the same time, if it's preventing you from living your own life, then there is. So I kind of feel like this is saying there might be some sources of comfort that you have to let go of so that you can be truly successful moving forward. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can say that something in your life is dead, done, over with, but he's making this symbol with his hands here, and it's the same symbol the Hierophant is making, and it represents a blessing. So I always look at the Ten of Swords as really like a blessing in disguise, and there definitely could be. You have that card that literally says blessings on it that is also showing up in this row. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords. I really don't need to say anything else. Like focusing on one thing and planting seeds toward in one direction is kind of the secret sauce for you in this reading, plain and simple. With the Four of Pentacles, Justice, which makes a lot of sense. Justice is cause and effect. It says you need to weigh up the things that you're doing for other people, or you need to weigh up your burdens, right? Anything that is weighing you down, anything that is getting in your way. I think you need to look at those activities, those habits, those responsibilities, and you need to just weigh it up. And you just need to say, like, do I really need to do this, or is this someone else's responsibility? And I feel that'll solve a lot for you in this reading. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Didn't you have the Page of Swords twice, or am I making that up? I'm making that up. But Page of Swords is a card of curiosity, kind of more of that playful, childlike energy. The Page of Swords asks a lot of questions, looks into things, researches things. So I think, that more of that playful, being willing to be playful with your ideas and not taking them too seriously would be a good idea. Next, for your outcome and the good stuff, you have this Entrepreneur card. It says, as an entrepreneur, you will truly have an opportunity to discover yourself and all of your potential. So some of you could be becoming entrepreneurs. You have this Competition card. It says, remember, there is no competition if you are truly original. I think you are very original, and you need to work on those original ideas. Again, believe in the impossible, your very first card, and that's what I would do with this card. You have the Four of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. Four of Cups is normally about being disappointed with what you have manifested so far, and he's not accepting this new cup into his life based off of past disappointments. But in the good stuff, it could say that you're actually getting a good opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles is a good opportunity coming into your life. And you have three aces in this reading. Two of them are the same, but you have three ace cards. So there definitely could be a solid new opportunity. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is spinning plates, being very busy. Just because, you're weighing up your options. And again, I think you could be eliminating certain responsibilities that don't belong to you. I still think it's because you are busy, right? It's like you have more than enough on your plate, Scorpio, which I've been saying to you for weeks, I'm pretty sure. So I feel that, really you only have enough time for yourself. And that's what the Two of Pentacles wants you to focus on. Two of Pentacles is also work hard, play hard. So as I said earlier, I would make sure that you are also playing and having fun. You have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice. So I feel that you are opening up to more options. I feel pretty good about this. Personally, I like the Seven of Cups. Again, I think it's a good card. The one challenge with the Seven of Cups is there are good things and bad things in those cups. So he's kind of like imagining something he wants to accomplish, but he's seeing that things could go bad or good. And really the solution to the card is that he just needs to take action and find out. But it's coming up in the good stuff. I feel this is saying you are increasing your options. With the Four of Cups, you have the Seven of Pentacles again. So I think you are going to make the right choice here with the Seven of Pentacles, and you are going to do something. It's almost like this reading is saying you are moving towards greener pastures. You're with the Knight of Pentacles as well. It's saying that you're moving your life in a direction where there can be actual growth. With the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, which is kind of what I feel here, because it's like you're releasing these burdens here, and the Ten of Cups is a much lighter energy in your life. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles is true independence, being able to take care of yourself. It's also the card of gratitude and luxuries. So, again, it can be like pre-Empress energy. I feel like you are taking care of yourself more, but you could be experiencing more abundance this month with the Nine of Pentacles. You have this Restlessness card. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to get this card. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and there are like, I don't know, 900 cards in this deck, but I have a feeling that a lot of people are probably going to get this. When you're feeling restless, I would make sure that you channel that energy into something, like a project, an idea, a goal, a wish, a dream, something. That'll be best. Next, you have this practicality card. Yeah, keep things simple. Like I said, like the simple answer is probably the right answer. So, don't be tricked by overly complex solutions to whatever you're doing. Keep it simple. Next, you have this principle card. I feel like you need to focus on your principles. We are kind of like in a time of morals and ethics and principles. Neptune and Pisces as well. It is kind of like your traditional beliefs, Neptune and Pisces. And, there might be certain principles that you want to live by. So I would just do it. Next, you have this endurance card. This card is Sun in Scorpio, even though there's a lion on the card. So again, a lot of you, this could just be your energy coming up in a very strong position. And finally, you have this lust card. Not really a love reading, right? There's no one really showing up here. But you could be feeling lusty at this time. I mean, you are Scorpio, so what else is new? But definitely something to think about. This is a really good reading. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.